All right, well, after, I don't know, I've had this thing for 3 years now, I think. And it's been swapped for 2. I'm finally putting battery hold downs in this thing. Well, battery hold down, and I'm adding my second battery. So this thing's gonna get parked outside in a little bit. I don't know when. As soon as I get the front brakes done on the white Duramax swap outside, this thing's gonna go get parked outside. And with no grid heater, we need all the help we can get. So I figured 2 dying old red top Optima batteries are better than 1 old dying red top Optima battery. So these things still crank and start my Duramax work truck in the cold with no glow plugs, which the Duramaxes start a lot easier than this thing. This has no grid heater, and it doesn't necessarily stay warm out there in the winter time. It gets pretty chilly here, so this is gonna be at least a fighting chance of maybe getting it started. Not that I'm driving it a whole bunch in the winter, but will at least give me a chance of getting this thing started when I need it to start. So we'll get this tightened down. We'll get a new cable over here ran. Let me show you what we got. So yeah, if you don't believe me, right there, December of 2016, these were in my work truck when I bought them, or when I bought that truck like 5 years ago, and they were still cranking. The only reason I took them out is because I have one of those 12-volt refrigerator cooler deals, and I left it in there for one day too many, I guess. The batteries went dead, and I came out one morning to go to work and they wouldn't start. So I had the batteries out of the donor truck that I pulled the Duramax out of for the square body, and I just hurried and threw them in there. I didn't have time to jump start and grab the charger and everything. So I just threw the batteries that were out of that donor truck in to get me going. And this thing, I don't know why, I don't know if this thing is charging hard or if I only had 1 battery in there, but I was running those marine batteries in here, and you can see this thing, they would just gas really hard. And I mean, it would spew the water out of the batteries. So these are the gel type, nice ones, so they shouldn't vent. But yeah, we got these are like $9 hold downs from Amazon. They're really cheap. I don't know how. These are all machined aluminum. But anyway, we'll get these tightened down, get some cables built and routed, and we'll take you along for the ride. All right, so this is what I used for the battery cable on this truck originally when I did the swap. So I've got a bunch of it left over, but it is 2-aught welding lead. The gas-powered welder I bought that you've probably seen on the channel came with like 200 feet of this stuff. And I paid $1,500 for the welder. So I figure for the 200 feet of lead that it came with, can't really go wrong. So I mean, probably $800-900 worth of lead. So get these on here, and then I use this little hammer style piece here. You put your lead in here like so, or your cable, and then you give her a smack. And that's it. Luckily, I've only put 1 terminal on here. Well, this stuff might go on. It might be big enough. Oh, we got lucky. Okay, I'll heat shrink that. We'll get this all routed to length. But yeah, the 2-aught welding lead is definitely the way to go, because the battery cables on these diesels in the pickups are about this size anyway, but they're super stiff and hard to work with. These are really flexible, and there's a lot more strands of copper in them. You get more ampacity out of them, so they'll carry more current. They're more flexible, easier to route, just better in all areas. So, and it's about the same price as the hefty battery cables anyway. So I usually like the welding lead. So let me get that heat shrunk. We'll go over and start routing this thing, get it cut to length, and then work on the negative, and we should be ready to go after that. All right, the positive cable's done. We've run it off this one, put some nut-zerts in here with these cushion clamps, run across the core support. Just got a universal battery terminal here with a 3/8 stud on it. Went to another one of these lugs here. So now I've got to go find the front corner of these blocks have a couple of, I believe they're 12 millimeter bolts. I don't know. I got to find out what size it is and then find a bolt to go in that to catch ground down there. And then we'll just have to run one from here down the front corner of that block somewhere. Probably run it off here. There's some bolts here we can nut zert with and down, and we'll do some fishing there. So let me find a bolt that'll go in there and we'll catch you back here in a second. All right, we got that cable ran, secured down through all this stuff. I know it's hard to see, it's getting dark. But like I said, these are old batteries. They still crank and run, but they are definitely getting tired. You can tell when it cranks. At least this one. I mean, when they were in my Duramax truck, you could tell they were definitely getting tired. But two of those that are getting old and tired will definitely be better than one of those that is getting old and tired. So I know this one was quick and dirty and not much to see, but that's what we were doing in the shop today. So I figured I'd show you guys what we're doing. You know, the green truck's pretty much done. It's a runner. We got a few things to do. I haven't decided when I'm going to build the tank for the gap here, but there's always something to do. So stick around. We got lots of projects and stuff going. So hit the like button, all that fancy jazz. We'll see you guys in the next one.